Good evening, everyone. How are you doing this evening? I am Teresa, and I will be your host for this season's Family to Family Workshop. Tonight, I have with me Mr. Hardy. First and foremost, we would like to pay some bills and give thanks to our sponsors and our partners St. Mark St. John's, Freedom Scholars Learning Center, friends and family of the Beechwood Neighborhood Associations, Irate Media, Bridge Media Visions, ESL, and we would like to give a big shout out and very, very thanks again to our partners, our silent partners who were making this happen tonight. Again, Mr. Hardy is with us tonight, and we would like to highlight and spotlight his community garden.
Well, thank you for having me.
Mr. Hardy, and tonight we're talking about your garden, which is very important. Fruits and vegetables is the first food you're supposed to intake in your body. I know a lot of people don't know that when we sit down and have supper. So much in our cultures, we sit down and we'll have all our foods together, our fats, our carbs, our proteins, and everything. But fruits and vegetables are the first two things we should consume. Fruits, vegetables, carbs, the fats we don't have to have. Right. And so today we're highlighting your garden and the importance of having healthy food practices, and healthy food choices.
All right. Well, I'd like to start off by saying thank you once again. The importance of having a garden. One, good health. Secondly, it'll keep you busy. Okay. All right. For those who figure they don't have anything to do if you're getting off of work, getting out of school, well, tend a garden. And you could get your rewards from the fruit that you planted. Going back to being healthy, everything that me and my family plant, we eat and take, can, and it's all natural. No chemicals, nothing like that. People ask me a lot, how did I get started? Well, one day, me and my wife decided to have a tall salad, and we didn't have no tomatoes. So I went to our local grocery store. Out of the blue, this is the first time ever, but I read that little sticker on there.
Okay.
And it said, this fruit may be coated with a thin coat of lacquer. So I said, lacquer? That's got to be for wood. So I do what everybody else did, Google. And it came at the very end. It says some fruits may be sprayed lightly with lacquer. Now I'm thinking, why? So we get a lot of our fruits out of state, like Hawaii, California, Mexico. Time you pluck it off that vine, it starts decaying. So with that, it keeps the fruit looking red, orangey, or whatever.
Oh, to preserve it.
Right. And to me, you have you eat enough of that, now you got chemicals inside of you. I know people who got cancer who had never smoked.
Yeah, come on.
All right. Different kind of cancers. Mm-hmm. So the benefit of growing your own garden, you're eliminating all that chemicals they putting on our food, plus the price.
Okay, come on now.
People
always want to know about the price.
Well, yeah.
The cost of living is so expensive nowadays.
Yes, it is. It is. And, me being a senior, I have to count all my pennies.
Okay.
So when I grow a fruit, I de-seed it and I keep the seeds. Okay. One seed could give me 6 to 7 fruit.
Cuts the cost, your grocery bill
in half.
Oh man, look at there.
Yeah.
And then you're putting it back into the earth, so you're keeping the seeds and replanting.
Right. And it's a beautiful thing. Still, let me stay on this cost because the thing that me and my wife we buy from the store, flour, sugar, rice, things of that nature that we can't grow. But here in New York, we could grow many things at a short time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Just to name a few, give us a few of those things at a short time. Say
Okay.
if I wanted to start a garden.
Oh, no problem. Corn, of course, cabbage.
Okay, cabbage is one of our favorites.
Oh, yes.
So if I could stop you at cabbage, how easy is that process?
It's very easy.
If you could give me a 1, 2, 3 step.
I could give you a 1, 2, 3.
Please.
You could either start off with a seed or a seedling, which is a plant this high. Okay.
Inside or outside?
Outside.
Okay.
In this area of the Northeast, our time for starting the plant is in April.
Okay.
Well, of course, we know how the climate is changing, so it don't move it back close to May.
Okay.
But in that short time from May to September, you could have a wonderful garden. I grew green cabbage, purple cabbage, peppers, tomatoes, 3 varieties, cherry, beef, and I can't think of the name of the other one, the basic one that people use in salads. I grew 3 variety of cucumbers, pickled cucumbers, salad cucumber, and
all in 5-month period of time
or less.
And so you know that since fruits are perishable and they go bad fast, so you're telling me that you can put these fruits in your house and also sell some. Well, so is it lucrative like that?
Well, it is, but I don't sell.
Oh, so you grow just enough for your household?
No, I grow and I give away.
Oh, wow. Look at there. That's an amazing thing.
Yeah, well, I got a lot of people that need. And
that comes to my next question, because I was going to ask you, what makes your garden a community garden? Well, you just said it. You give
I give it away. Me and my wife started out. We started out in a 5-gallon pail, and we found out that it was really easy. So we went to 5'5".
Okay.
And then now it's half of my backyard.
Wow.
And you ask some of the things that I grow: corn, watermelon, squash, zucchini, eggplant, tomatoes. One year I did garlic. I didn't put none out this year because it'll grow during the winter months, which is cool. You don't have to do anything. Just let it go.
Just let it grow.
Yeah. And zucchini, the squash, potatoes. Also want to say this. If you start a garden and things don't turn out as well, don't get discouraged, because it could be soil. Mm-hmm. It could be too much of the sun. And what I mean by soil, you want your soil to be nutrient, not too much of acid or anything like that, because anything won't grow in that. You might have not enough worms in the ground.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because the worms keep the dirt loose and they migrate and feed and stuff of that nature, which give your roots enough to grow and grab all the nutrients from the waste of the worms. So, I mean, these things, me and my wife, we had to learn all that.
I was just about to say, this stuff is so good to know.
Well, and it's so easy. It's so easy. I mean, once I started doing this, it became natural, just like putting on your clothes. Okay. And when it get close to the plant, me and her is like, all right, let's get going. A lot of times I went and bought a rototiller so I could tear up the soil and put nutrients in it so I could get that soil right. And basically that's it. And to see the kids when they say, Mr. Karl, what is you growing? And I tell them. And they say, no. A lot of them believe food come out of a box.
Wow.
Yeah. It reminded me of one case. We had a little girl. I was peeling a potato, getting ready to make some mashed potatoes. Mm-hmm. And she said, Mr. Karl, what are you doing there? I said, I'm cutting a potato. And I said, in this potato, get your French fries, your mashed potatoes, and your tater chips. She said, wrong.
She didn't even know.
Yeah. And I said, what's wrong? She said, mashed potatoes come in a box.
Wow.
I said, well, baby girl, I said, yeah, the imitation mashed potatoes, but this is natural. And I said, once I get finished cooking it and you eat it, you tell me if you like this or that box mashed potatoes. And I had to give her 3 plates.
Wow.
Yeah.
So would you agree that your community garden is actually help unite the community? Because I see you speaking on children coming over, asking you peculiar questions and finding out things they didn't even know.
Right.
That's very important to know because, a lot of children don't know about gardens and vegetables and that food growing, how it's processed. And so for her to know that, okay, the potato chips, your French fries, and mashed potatoes all come from this potato.
Yes.
Would you also agree that the community garden is a great place to tell stories?
Oh, yes. It's a wonderful place because, see, once your mind get off the fact that of the ills of society.
So many.
Yeah. And come on back to nature. Your intellect opens up.
So big.
Yeah. And you could say things without feeling any kind of way,
Be free.
Be free and ask questions. I have kids ask me, why bugs is in the dirt? I mean, it sounds crazy, but I know they didn't know. And like I told them, I said, these bugs help fertilize the earth and things of that nature, and the trees and the leaves, all that is in cahoots with each other. My garden that I do, like I said, we started out so we could start canning, eating healthier. And I drive around the city and I see a lot of community gardens in neighborhoods. But when I stop, I see a lot of fruit on the plants. So that tells me people don't have the information that they need to have, when to go harvest, what to do with that harvest. I had a young lady ask me, how do you cook eggplant?
I want to know. I love to eat it. I want to know how to cook it.
Well.
No, I just want to know.
Well,
what's that lady mean? I'm just kidding.
But I have grown purple bells and white fingers. That's 2 different variety of eggplant. And I got some here in this jar here that we canned in November. And
did you bring gifts for us?
No, this is going back home. But
it's so pretty. Can I see it?
Yes.
Well, look at
everything in there we grew.
Everything from your garden.
Yeah.
It looks like we have some fresh parsley.
We got rosemary. I got 2 variety of rosemary in there.
Some onions.
Onions, garlic.
Is there carrots or those peppers?
Nope, those peppers. And I think
garlic.
Yeah.
All locally grown.
Yeah.
Fresh and
bell
beautiful.
Peppers. All that is in there. All out of the backyard.
Right. So back to what you were saying, like when you ride through the neighborhood and you see there are community gardens, because I'm born and raised in the Market View neighborhood, and we had a community garden in our backyard. We had mulberries, pear tree, banana. I mean, you name it, we had it. But still, again, like you said, when do the people know to go harvest it? Because my uncle, since my grandparents passed away, they cut down the pear tree.
Right.
I used to go show it off every year. Like, we got a pear tree in the backyard. I went last year and it was gone.
Right.
Because they don't know.
They don't know. And the weird thing is, when I see a lot of fruit, and great question too, because a lot of people don't know. String beans. We did black eyed peas, string beans, pole beans.
You do beans too?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I love beans.
You could grow all that in New York State, right along with only thing you can't grow in New York State, any citrus. That's got to be in a warm climate.
Gotcha.
But everything else, the pears, the plums, the apples, the grapes, the raspberry, blueberries, all that could grow here within a short amount of time.
Wow. Remember that short amount of time.
Right.
So I have another question. So remember I asked about inside or outside. What about raised beds? Because I know we at Roar Street, we used to have so like tomatoes, my grandfather would have them hanging up around the house.
That's right. No, you're absolutely right. Raised beds is good. For people who's getting up in age,
Okay.
I would suggest a raised bed because we got both. We got raised beds and I got it into the ground as well. Uh, all my cabbage, greens, peppers, tomatoes, cucumbers, uh, corn, I got it in the ground. My watermelon, my
You guys
garlic.
hear all of this stuff you're naming?
Oh yes, and this is
90% of my food bill.
that's what I'm
In the
trying to tell
ground, in
you.
the yard, in the backyard.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's so easy. You could go to work for 8 hours and come back home and feed your food. And what I mean by feed your food, watering. That's it.
Did y'all hear that? Feed your food. Just
Feed your food. And
you
just
go for 8 hours, you come home, feed your food, and your food gonna feed you.
When I was working, I'm retired now, but when I was working, I used to, before I go to leave to go to work, I would water my garden before the sun come up. Let that go. 8 hours, 10 hours, I'll come home, dust, rewater. And I'm telling you, you could see it grow. Believe what I'm telling you. You could see it grow. You could actually sit there and look at your food.
Blossom.
Yeah.
And right before your eyes. This has to be an amazing thing. You know, there's no pesticide.
That's right.
There's no, what you said, lacquer.
That's
and
right.
Stuff to preserve it from coming from many miles and countries over.
That's right.
Coming right out your backyard.
That's right. And you
cutting out health problems, heart problems,
yes.
Mind problems. Because, you know, if you don't eat right, like when you're intaking these things, you know, especially meats and stuff like that, you can take the emotions of them. Right. If you're intaking fruits and vegetables that don't have nutritional value, it's just.
Well, this is another thing that we want to do in our garden. I want to get some chickens. The city ordinance for our city, I can have chickens, but I can't have a rooster. And because of the rooster croak in the morning.
Gotcha.
All right. But I can have the chickens so they can lay eggs. I'm about to start canning butter right now. The shelf life for butter is 5 years. But the amazing thing with that, you can add all your seasonings that you like to that butter. Mm-hmm. You understand? Like if you love garlic
butter, garlic butter,
yeah,
cinnamon butter,
yeah.
Hey, come on, turmeric butter,
yeah. And now think about it. You put it in a mason jar like that. Mm-hmm. It could sit on your shelf for 5 years.
That's amazing.
Now think about you running back and forth to the store to get butter. Honey, I ain't got no butter. Go ahead and get some. That's $2-3 right there.
Yeah.
When
$2-3, butter is $4-5.
Well, there you go.
These were $2-3.
Well, you see how long it's been since I bought butter.
He bought no butter in a long time, y'all.
But these are the benefits that you could get from doing things as simply as just growing your own food.
It's just simple. You can go to the public market and get these seeds for pennies on a dollar, huh?
Well, you know what?
Or you can go buy a piece of fruit and take the seeds.
And take the seeds out.
Ooh, Mr. Hardy, I learned that tonight.
For example, I got some here.
Is that peanut squash?
Well, this is butternut.
Butternut. I was close.
Yeah, yeah. And this make a great soup. I know you've been to banquets and they have some laid out look like sweet potatoes.
Or sweet potato.
Yeah. Well, it's
squash.
Yeah. This is called the candy roasted squash.
Gotcha.
Okay. And this supposed to have a great flavor. I'm gonna do this around New Year's.
Okay.
All right.
And what are you gonna make it into?
This I'm gonna make pies, soup. If I can make cookies.
Okay.
And a cake.
Hey.
I've been baking.
We get to try it, me.
Well, I've been baking and I'm turning. I got a pie, a squash pie. Can you please?
We have treats today.
And I got a soup.
OMG, I get to eat out of the community garden tonight, guys. Why, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.
So
Thank
he's
you.
brought us
Thank
pie
you.
and soup. Mr. Hardy, I will let you do the due diligence
Well-
of opening it up.
Well, I wanted you guys to taste this because,
Yeah, we have spoons in the house because I will taste it. I am greedy.
and I don't know if you got a microwave, but
I don't like my food hot. So I like to be
Okay.
able to taste all of the flavors.
now
It's
this
too hot.
this
You have a
is
spoon?
squash. It came from this. It looked
Oh
ugly.
wow! Look at this.
It
So
looked
what
ugly.
kind of squash was this?
This is it's called a New England
New England.
Blue Hubbard squash.
Can I?
Sure.
New England Blue Hubbard squash. Was it born
It's-
and raised in Rochester, New York?
No, it came on the Mayflower
Okay.
from England, but
Got
it's this big, this long, and about that fat.
Okay, got you.
What I did, I chopped it up in quarters. That's this. This is the soup,
And we have a pie made
and
from
this is the pie.
Oh my! It looks like a sweet potato pie.
I know.
You
I
guys
know.
gotta check it out. Look how beautiful the pie is.
I know.
Mmm.
And
Tasty.
and this is all out of the same batch. Only
Wow.
difference with this, I want you to taste that, and then you tell
So
me
what was the price of the squash?
$2.
$2. He took $2 and made a pie. He made soup. Did you make more out of that squash?
Yes, I did.
Oh my.
Yes,
Healthy
I-
eating. You know, this is the thing. Because see, when I first started to eat healthy, it was expensive. Because
Right.
I was going in the store looking for organic
Right.
and all of these
Right.
other things. But that
Right.
stuff is sprayed also.
Right.
Because it's coming from all these
All
places.
over.
When I can simply go in my backyard
And do
or
it
hang
yourself.
my tomatoes and do it myself.
Yeah.
For not even half. It cuts 75% of the price.
Yes. I right now I'm still growing some herbs. My 2 rosemary. And I want you to be honest.
It tastes like gravy and rice. It tastes like gravy.
Now, my wife told me, she said that I put meat in there.
It
no
tastes
meat.
like gravy.
There's no meat in
It
there.
tastes like, you heard me say gravy and rice. You know, to make gravy, you gotta have some type of meat flavor. It got a smoky taste. It tastes like gravy. I was about to say, yeah. It tastes like
Yeah.
gravy.
Now, let me tell you why the difference.
Please.
This one I roast. This I boil.
Hear the difference, guys. Roasting and boiling. So the way you prepare the foods, it changes your outcome.
It does.
And the flavor.
And your seasoning.
Mhm.
All right. When you taste that pie,
That tastes like lima beans.
go ahead. You're gonna have all kind of flavors coming through your mouth. now,
I
I'm
love
telling you.
beans. Mhm.
And this is a great filler because as you eat it, it's
Mhm.
coating your stomach.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
You're getting all your vitamins out of this.
All
Okay.
of them.
Your A, B, and C. Okay. And what's happening with that is you're getting better of letting your body do all the work for you. That you're absolutely right. It's a little smoke in there
Mhm.
because, like I said, I roasted first, and I added my seasons. I don't know if I should tell you all my seasons, but it don't matter. In this soup, and I made it a little thick because I like my soup a little thick. I could have made it thinner, but I chose to keep it thick because I wanted to feel.
Mhm. And it's the fall season. It's that
Yes.
time for hearty food.
Yes.
And it's so filling. It's
Yes.
really filling. Like I said, it tastes like lima beans. I got that roast taste to it.
Yes.
And he said, like he said, his wife, it ain't not a meat to it, but ooh.
Yes. But
And
it
it's
tastes
good
like it. Yeah.
because I'm truly trying to get rid of meat. I don't know why, just because it
Well, I mean,
doesn't look, it's not as pretty as it used to be.
right, and those are think about this for a second. You got 5 billion people. I'm just using
Eating
that
chicken.
number. Eating chicken. Do we have that many birds?
That's right. Mass reproduction. They just giving
So
us
what is they doing to fulfill us?
farm raising.
Well, they're feeding them chemicals so they can grow from a day old to fully mature.
Wow.
Okay. Same thing with our eggs. All the chemicals they feed the birds with, they lay in the eggs and it's coming right through the eggs. You know, I noticed something when I was working. Little girls, and little boys start developing
The way
early.
develop, yes.
That's those
The
chemicals.
hormones and the
Yes.
food that they're putting in
Yes.
the food.
Yes.
And you know, it's crazy. It's like it's self-explanatory if we really took the time out to think about the food
Right.
thing. But we spend so much time just trying to prepare a meal and put a meal
Right.
on the table and
Right. Or eat out the styrofoam box.
Wow.
You know, and I know some people can't help
But
it because, you know, your work schedule or your schedule for home after work, you don't have time to prepare food.
So do you have any pointers for us, Mr. Hardy,
I
on
got
how to
plenty.
input just, you know, one healthy food practice we can incorporate into our life? You given us one big one, like, you know.
What do you like? What kind of veggies you like?
Cabbage.
You love cabbage?
And
Okay.
beans.
I'm gonna tell you what you could do. Those planters, and I know you have seen them. They could be the size of a garbage can or whatever. All right, little planters, round planters.
Yeah, flower pot.
Yeah, a little flower pot.
Okay.
All right. Go to the public market
Uh-huh.
and get you a cabbage.
Okay.
Go down round about, I said that first, or go to the second knuckle of the dirt. Move it out, put that plant in there, water it, and walk away. And just look at it blossom. It's got to be in the sun, though.
Okay.
And that's going to be your first fish right there.
The plant outside.
Yeah, because once you do it, and you every day when you come home or before you go to work or whatever, you're going to start seeing the leaves do this.
Did you guys hear that process? How simple he said it was. Go to the store, purchase the cabbage, put it in the pot, and water it.
As long as it got enough sun.
Probably less than $5. If I go to the Dollar Tree, it's $1.25.
That's right. That's
Hold
right.
on. A cabbage is less than $1, or probably $2 nowadays. So you telling me under $5, I get me a cabbage garden starter and have cabbage for the rest of the season.
We grew 12 green cabbage, 12 of the purple cabbage.
Look at there, no pesticides,
None
of that.
We had 14 plants of collard green. We had 4 plants of kale.
Wow.
My specialty was making a green pot. So I took a half cabbage of a half a green cabbage, half a purple cabbage. I got some collard greens, and I took a few leaves of my kale and made one big green pot. And believe me, sister, it didn't stay long.
I can only imagine.
It did not stay long.
I can only
with
imagine.
Some homemade cornbread, not Jiffy.
Okay, come on, that
Homemade.
pan bread. They don't know about that skillet bread.
And I didn't either until I started doing it. Thank God to YouTube.
Oh, YouTube.
But I realized doing that way, you get all the nutrients. Once me and my wife start eating that, we start feeling better, less ailments. We're up in age right now, so we have to do things. The way our body digests food, that has to be in a play as well, because we can't do the things that we used to do when we was younger. So we have to start going the way our bodies allow us to go, which is eat more healthier. If you look at the animal kingdom, they have the canines, we got grinders.
Come on.
So that means we're supposed to be eating veggies. Some meat, but mainly veggies.
You heard what I said when we started out. Majority fruits and veggies.
Yeah, and I guarantee you will not go wrong. Don't get discouraged. If you have to, like I said, go to the public market, just get that little plant starter. If you don't have the seeds, make sure that's watered. You want to get that in the ground.
Gotcha.
As soon as you can. And in your pottery, you could just get, my wife liked to use, what's the name of the white pellets? Oh my God.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. So.
Oh, I can't think of the name of it.
I can't either. Because I took a seed to supper, and so it taught us about gardening, and I just cannot think of the palette you're talking about. It's
right on the tip of my tongue, and I can't bring it out. But anyway, you want to make that soil livable.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And how do you do that?
Well, you make sure that you got If you buy a bag, which is $1
Mhm.
of soil, and usually it don't have no nutrients in
The
it.
soil doesn't.
The soil, it's a virgin soil. So what you want to do, I did, um, I went and got a small container of 10-10-5 and blood meal and bone meal. And what we did, we added it up and powdery um, soil. All right. And that's a little cubit like this. We mixed that up. The soil became real soft and loose. Now, once you water it, it's gonna, but it stays kind of firm so the roots could grow. That's what you want. All right. And once you set that in there, and like I said, you water that, make sure it's the sun in a sunny spot. You're gonna be amazed. In fact, your cabbage gonna be the best tasting cabbage you ever had.
I'm gonna get on top of it.
Trust me on that. And, because I learned that.
So, Mr. Hardy, back to the children, because we were talking about the hormones that the food have that we're inputting into our children. So, what are your thoughts on teaching children at a young age, at an early age, about gardening?
Well, younger the better, because their mind is a sponge. And if you start putting it in their mind and showing them, they will start grabbing towards that. A lot of our kids don't have nobody in their lives that, hey, this is the way to do this. Our grandkids, I started them cutting grass at the age of 7. My oldest grandson, he started the garden with me at the age of 6. And he could tell you everything about it. No,
that's the sweet thing about it. It's I'm just smiling because of the memories. Because like I said, I grew
you got
up
them, don't you?
Garden.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy. So it's like a generation missed the mark.
Yeah.
And because like you said,
the microwave generation.
You got it. That generation. So we missed out. But we it wasn't like it was new to us because it was introduced to us and then taken away because of the microwave came and Mickey D's and Burger King. Because a lot of people don't know they didn't always exist.
Right.
1965 and 64 is when it was just around the corner. So it was like we were introduced to healthy because that's all we had at one point was healthy food.
Right.
Once we was living off the land, then it was like we was introduced to this stuff, the microwave stage, and then we forgot all about it, and we didn't feed our kids it either.
No, we didn't.
And so we have to get back to that, but it's so hard because we've gotten so far away from it.
Well, see, now I disagree again.
Okay, come on.
Because it's not hard. It's just time management. That's it. Once you start managing your time better, you'll find out in 24.
I hear that. Managing our time will help us input and compute good, healthy practices in our healthy.
And it helps me all through life. Time management. And I guarantee you, it's not hard. You give yourself, you want to do that cabbage, I guarantee you it'll take you around about an hour.
To get it prepared and go.
To do the soil and put the plant in. And water.
Gotcha.
Probably be less than an hour. It's just that simple. The only thing is we have to do it. We have to get ourselves motivated and say, you know what? Today I'm going down here to the public market and I'm gonna buy that plant and I'm gonna come home and I'm gonna put it in the soil.
That's it. We have to do it.
You have to. Time management. In 24 hours, I'm trying to myself. I can't speak for no one else but myself. In 24 hours, I'm trying to make each hour, each minute, each second worth something productive. Okay. Now you may say that's extreme. No, it's not.
It's not. I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, that's amazing.
Well, it's true.
Because we're on borrowed time. Let's get there.
There you go.
We're on borrowed time.
Right there alone.
So what this man just said is amazing. We're on borrowed time alone. So like he said, out of 24 hours, he takes every second, every minute, and want to make sure that he's doing something.
Some productive.
Not just something productive. If we can try to put that practice in our lives as Black and brown people, I do believe we will start to make a change for our loved ones.
Amen.
We will start to get our community back. We'll start seeing community gardens. Because I was born and raised here in Rochester. You used to be able to walk down the street and be able to pick an apple. You used to be able to pick a cherry off Monroe Avenue. And so it's like they cut down the health, and they want us to go to the store and purchase.
And purchase. Spend money.
Isn't this amazing?
Yeah.
So it's so glad to meet with you tonight, Mr. Hardy, and to get those diamonds that you dropped. Do you have any more jewels for us when it comes to community garden? And when I say community garden, it's in his backyard, and he plants and feeds the community, not just his family. I asked him, because I had to ask, what did he do with the extra food? It's a community garden. He feeds his community. I have one more question.
Sure.
Do you take not just your grandchildren, but children from the community? I know you said a little girl walk by and educate them all the time on
those who come by, stop by. Yes, I drop that knowledge on them. I don't want to go out and start.
No, we need to be able to come in and stop in.
Right. You know, who that weirdo?
No. That's why we need to be able to stop in, highlight and spotlight this garden.
Well, you know, with my wife, can I do a shout out?
Yes, please.
My wife, Audrey Hardy Daycare, and she have enough kids there. Those are the kids that come by while she's doing her daycare. And she also got community kids from the neighborhood that we knew as babies, and they come over, which we didn't do the daycare, and they help out. And those are the ones that I give.
Now that's community.
Yeah, it's love.
That's community.
That's love.
That's what
it
you
took
call
a village.
Community, but that's what you call a community.
Yeah, because I still believe in that village. All right.
It takes a village.
It really does. It really does. I grew up in that era where I couldn't do nothing because my neighbor, all right, would tell my parents. I know that you hear a lot of people saying that, but I grew up in that era. I grew up in that era where my neighbor had the right to spank me.
Okay, come on.
All right. I know if you try that today, you got to fight the parents and the police and the judges the whole night. So
you can't even say nothing to you can't.
Right.
You can't say nothing to kids. Got more rights. That's a whole nother.
Yeah, that's a whole nother subject. I get it. But my wife, she have those kids, and we go ahead and try to give them the things that they need mentally, as far as eating healthy. Stop eating. I used to be called the mean man because I had a garbage can chained up to the light pole. The kids used to go down and get those little juices and candy. And it seemed like for one reason, when they get to our house, they drop the paper and the juicy. Hey, pick that up and put it in the garbage can. I'm sorry, Mr. Hardy. You know, those little things like that could go a very long way. Because now when they're not on my street or walking in front of my house and they somewhere else, Mr. Karl said, don't do that.
Think twice about littering.
Right. So, you know, it's nothing really special. It's just being yourself and true.
Have you ever thought about taking the children from Mrs. Hardy's daycare that I heard you mention, and actually like running you like a little training, you know, like giving you my little how-to 10-step, to gardening process?
I tried that. Unfortunate, when they leave us, they go home. So it's a different world. And then when they come back to us within 24 hours, and I have to repeat.
It's hard.
Sometimes it can be hard, but you know, for those who grasp, who pick up real quick, it ain't. And those are the ones I don't forget about the other ones, but those are the ones I kind of focus on because I can see the hunger, I can see the passion, I can hear it in their voice. How is this going to do? How long do this take?
Gotcha. So say if I run across some people, Mr. Hardy, and they're willing to start or wanting to start a community garden in their neighborhood or in their backyard, and they didn't catch the YouTube or they caught the YouTube and they still needed a little bit more. How's there a way they can contact you?
Yes. You could contact me um, through
Oh, cute. You guys are
through
perfect.
this is great.
Right?
My garden is in my backyard.
And what's the address?
290 Parcells Avenue.
Okay, great. So if we want to, we probably would have to call or contact Mr. Hardy
Yes.
or Mrs. Hardy before
Yes.
showing up to their business.
Yes, because I got no trespass signs. I got big dog, and
that location is where again?
290 Parcells Avenue.
290 Parcells. So you guys hear this? This is
in the
middle of the city. It's in the
Yes.
heart of the city.
Yes.
A lot of people call it decapitated or whatever, but in the heart of the city, he has a community garden where he's growing fresh fruits and vegetables and
Yes.
feeding his community. From the outside looking in, people speak a lot about our community, but here it is. We showing you, and we're highlighting and spotlighting it. Community garden
Yes.
on Parcells Avenue.
Yes. And you know, like I said, it's not hard. It's easy and it's beneficial to you and your family. And in many ways, not only are you eating healthy, but you're growing your mind. And that's very key. The Bible says, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. That's not only opening up the Bible, but
Yes.
that's being aware of your surroundings and everything
What
else.
you eat.
Right. And I know the Lord didn't create us just go crazy, you know, eating all this garbage and
It
then
causes
expecting us to live long. It ain't gonna
It's
happen.
not gonna happen.
No.
It's like, can you say that again, Mr. Hardy?
Which part?
It's not like eating crazy. We won't live long.
No,
like,
we will not.
Consuming all of those things. In college, I took a course. Mr. Brent was a professor. He had a sandwich from McDonald's and a fry from 2007. This was in 2020. The fry looked the same. The burger and the bread looked the same. He had us microwave it, and guess what it did? Snap right back.
Now, let me say something
because
about
of
that.
the preservative.
Yeah. And let me say this.
So all I thought about was how long it sits in my stomach.
Forever.
I ain't ate McDonald's since.
Forever. And I'm glad you brought that up. And your meat tenderizer. I don't cook with no meat tenderizer.
Okay, learn something new tonight. Meat tenderizer.
That's all chemicals. So if it tenderizes the meat, what is it doing inside of your stomach? That's why people end up with ulcers and more cancers.
Snatching our gallbladders. All the stuff they doing nowadays that you ain't never heard your aunties on them getting this stuff done.
Well, this is what our aunties had that hammer with the ridges on the side, and that was our meat tenderizer.
Show you right.
All right. But today, the way the world is today, everything quick, fast, in a hurry.
Come on.
You know, you pull up, make your order, you go around the corner, pay for it, then you pick it up at the next window. It don't work that way. I was going to say this. I bought a burrito from McDonald's. Again, it stopped me and said, what's in this burrito? 800 milligrams of sodium.
Wow. 800.
So I had bought two. So that would have been 1,600 grams of sodium that I'm intaking in my body. And then I wonder why my blood pressure is sky high. All right. Just off those two breakfast burritos. So that's out of the plan. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to be careful about our intake. That zero pop. If you look on there, it's got on there no sugar. But look at the other ingredients.
High fructose corn syrup.
Come on, see,
these
are the things that we don't. Right,
read the label.
Read the label.
You started out with that too. Remember the lacquer on the tomato.
That's right. You got to read the labels because they use words that say, "Oh, it's no sugar," for all us health nuts, right? And then we go and buy it. Now we got sugar diabetes. Yeah. I've been eating healthy, I thought. But read those cans on there and the cereal boxes. The same thing with the cereal boxes, the healthy cereal. And I love cereal, but you have to read and you have to eat in moderation. You know, A lot of our people here in America is obese.
Yes.
And they say, I don't eat much. Well, it's what you're eating.
Now, would you agree that moderation, because I've been trying healthy eating practices, and so I've read that, that moderation, like I said, is fruits, vegetables, carbs, and then fats, and that, well, proteins, carbs, and then fats. They say you don't have to have the fats, but it say you should eat one of them separate. So eat fruit, and then 30 minutes later eat a vegetable.
It's up
then
to
30
you.
minutes later eat the protein. Then 30 minutes later.
It's up to you. Whatever way your day go and what's best for you.
As long as it's in moderation.
Yes. There's no guideline. Long as you're doing everything correct, you can do it the way you want to do it. You understand what I'm saying? When our kids was living with us, I used to eat eggs at night. Why are you eating eggs? Well, because I love them, for one, and I can do this. All right? But there's no secret or no specific guide on how to eat. The only guide that I say on how to eat is eat healthy. That's the main thing. As long as you intaking healthy food, it don't matter when. My wife loved grapes. She eat those all night.
She eating frozen?
I believe she do. I don't know yet.
She loves green grapes.
I don't know yet, but I like to try that frozen wine from grapes. But that's another story. But I'm just saying, as long as it's healthy, it don't matter when. Just do it. From morning to evening. Make sure your intake is healthy. Our black eyed peas are
Make sure our intake is healthy.
That's the main thing. Our black eyed peas, our pole beans, our green beans. I had a niece come over, and they filled up this basket. And I told them, I said, well, y'all could take a lot of that home. And they did. And they came back for more because they told us, and my nephew, those were the best beans I ever had.
Oh, I love beans.
And I thought they was pulling my leg. But when they came back and got more, I said, well,
serious.
Yeah. So that's one.
But then you wouldn't believe. So I went in the store the other day to get some beans. They didn't have the lima beans in the bag, but they wanted $4 for the bag beans. The can, they wanted $3.49 a can.
See, I don't trust that can either.
Yeah, but the price made me put it down. I was, I'm from that microwave era. Yeah. I was gonna grab a can, but then when the price was like, yeah, just put it on down, and I grabbed me some frozen ones.
Yeah. Because you know what, and the reason I say I stay away from the can is coated on the inside with the preservatives too.
Got you.
You understand? So the beans dry naturally. So the bag beans.
And cans are bad because I used to work for a company, I'm not going to say which one, where we would just wipe off the expiration date and put on a new one.
Oh, I see. That's terrible.
The shelf life.
That's terrible.
So canned goods, you're right. I'm just adding to it.
No,
cans are bad. Not just the preservatives. They got companies that take off the sell-by date and put it back on.
Dollar is more important to them than you are.
Mr. Hardy, I'd like to thank you so very much for coming out tonight and giving us so many tips on healthy food choices, and on ways to incorporate them in our daily lives.
Well, thank you for having me, and I hope I made a difference for somebody out there.
If not out there, me right here.
Well, thank you, and I really hope you do it. I really want you to taste this pie.
I just want to take the whole pie. Look, I want to trick my son, my wrestler.
Taste that, please. I want the camera to see your response to that.
Oh, and it's so put together. So 2 totally different consistencies.
Yeah.
It's not sweet potato pie.
No. No.
Girl, you gotta try them. This tastes better than sweet potato pie. It doesn't have all the sugar.
No.
But it's sweet.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah.
It's wholesome.
Yeah. You should smell the aroma while it's cooking. Oh my goodness.
But it's my pie because I ate some of it.
Well, no, I had brought it for you guys to check out because I had wanted y'all to taste it. This is all out
Irate don't
of.
want no. Y'all can't have none.
This is all out of the New England Blue Hubbard. And like I said, it's an ugly fruit, but it gives you a
It makes some
great
pretty food.
Yes.
Ugly fruit, pretty food.
Yes. And the soup as well.
So this is basically 2 different flavors. A smoky heat flavor, like gravy. It tastes like lima beans and gravy. Gravy and rice. And this tastes like a sweet potato pie.
All out of the one fruit. So you can imagine how this roasted candy yam gonna be. Girl, slow down.
I'm fasting. I ain't ate all day.
Oh my goodness! You gonna have that whole pie?
It's gonna be dinner.
Well, I'm glad you enjoy it. So that's a real reaction.
Y'all should be selling this pie. That sweet old pie that Walmart, I ain't gonna put the name on it.
I can't, but
this is more healthier.
Yes, it's squash.
We got somebody famous selling a sweet pie. This will take it out.
That is all squash. And that's the thing that a lot of people miss out on because they think squash is nasty.
It's really good. I even like fried squash. I like it sliced up with some zucchini.
We barbecue our zucchini and our yellow squash during the summertime.
You hear they saying barbecue vegetables?
Oh yes. A little olive oil, salt, and pepper, and you
so as a
bite
people,
your
we need to get back to healthy practices, healthy food.
Yes.
He said it doesn't matter. We can eat as much as we want, as long as it's healthy.
Yes. That's right. That's right.
And how can we eat healthy foods? We have community gardens. So, but if we need help creating more community gardens or even coming together to figure out how to put the time in on the community gardens we have, going out and harvesting and picking the fruits at the right time so that what we do have don't go bad.
That's right. That's right.
Because Mr. Harder said he has roams around the neighborhoods and see that we do have available community gardens that have
a lot of fruit on there and no one is picking. And I advise people to go out and pick.
City of Rochester, go out and pick.
That's right. If you see it hanging and it's big enough, green enough, purple enough, yellow enough, pick it.
Pick it. Pick it. Pick it. Pick it. It's a community garden. Pick it. And tell them to see Mr. Hardy if they got any questions. No, I'm just kidding.
But I can't stress.
We used to be able to do that. Walk right down the street, pick whatever fruit, vegetable you see in there.
No, that's true.
Take it on home.
That's very true.
This is our community. Let's bring back our community. Yes. Because it's going to waste. When we don't pick it, it goes to waste.
And we got enough. It's one thing I could say about Rochester soil. It's decent.
Okay.
All right. I'm originally from Florida. And one thing I learned about New York, I hate the taxes, but the air quality and the water quality is tops.
Okay.
All right.
That's good to know.
Yeah. And Great Lakes to fish. Me and my wife go up to the islands every year and fish and and get a cottage and just be ourselves. But the main thing I want everybody to understand, eat healthy. Eat healthy.
Michelle Obama started it. She did that's the 5210.
Yeah, she did. She did. And you could do it in your backyard, on your porch, on your ceiling, on your roof. Okay, if you got a flat roof. And just do it. And I guarantee you won't go wrong.
We have the food trucks go around, grab you some fresh fruit. If you're in a community where there's a community garden, you see fruit hanging, it's yours. You guys have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully we see you guys in the next episode.
Bye.
How do we do? Y'all know we talk a lot. How we do, Irate?
That's good.